Boom, hey internets. Marky Mark dropped me a question relating to sales and marketing. And so he's been following me since 2013. Mark, I appreciate that. And all of you that have been following me for a bit. And soaking up the knowledge. I was wondering, how do I drive more traffic into my website to make more sales? Better yet, how do I make more sales? So that's a loaded question. I want to start with that. There's two things there. We're talking about marketing, like getting more traffic, and then we're talking about sales, which is categorically two different things, but obviously very much related. So marketing, I just dropped a video about marketing in 2018, which is kind of like I just let go all these ideas of the way I'm looking at the approach of just marketing. So take a look at that. And anyways, as it relates to this though, let me say that it's multiple hustles that's going to accumulate in marketing, and really the term is digital marketing now, because everything is on the web. Everything, whether you're consuming this on your computer, your iPad, or your phone, this is the way you're aggregating information. This is the way a company should be getting to you with ads. So Facebook marketing, YouTube, an AdSense Google account for making ads, Instagram, and when you watch this in the future, whatever social media platform is the one that is dominant. Facebook definitely is a place where you should have your ads running. The annoying ads that run through on the YouTube, one of those should be yours. And it's not that annoying if it's something that hits to the soul of the person that's watching, right? I mean, all of us have probably seen something on Instagram, Facebook, or wherever you browse, an ad that you're like, oh, that's actually interesting, and you click on the link. That's the way a lot of business is getting done. So within that, I already mentioned a couple social media platforms that are imperative for you to have a plan. So you shouldn't just have an account. You should be obsessing and trying to find a way to make it bigger and create a bigger reach. And there's a million like experts that work in marketing that you should look at for strategy. I would say, Gary Vaynerchuk, for multiple subjects, is a person that I look towards in terms of brass tacks and how to create awareness. He has an agency, for God's sakes, and he shows you how he does it. I'm a huge fan, and I consume a lot of his content, so you should go to him for that. There's a ton of videos. I wouldn't do any justice really trying to break that stuff down. When I was at the last company, we hired someone to work on both Shopify and digital marketing. We found that they were interlaced, and so I would get updates, but I wasn't doing a lot of the brass tacks work. But it was really important. With a very small crew, that was one thing that we needed to have important. So successfully, that gets eyeballs, so that gets more traffic. Now, the second part, Mark, that you want to talk about is sales. There's no magic bullet. I've talked about this before. If someone says there's a magic way to get more sales, they're lying. If it was easier, then more brands would succeed. I would say the brands that do succeed, you should see what works with them and study them intently. I should also say, as we're going into new technology and a new time, the way to acquire customers is different than it was before. I think the way to get and retain an audience is to really have something that hits their lifestyle, like that represents me. So something that really identifies with people. Immediately I think of Live Fit, I think of Johnny Cupcakes. There's a couple other case studies, but if you think of like those two brands, for example, a lot of it is based on a story that people can relate to, right? And it's Johnny Cupcakes is actually his AKA, which is a name, which is interesting. But I think people just connected with him as a person to a cult-like fandom, which is amazing for him and his business. And so that's why I'm a huge fan of what Johnny does. And for Live Fit, I think Randall just he tapped the vibe and really got in there early. I think he was aggressive, or continues to be aggressive where he needs to be. But the athleisure category is massive. It's huge now. So there's a lot of companies that are in that category. And I mean, eventually he could compete with your Nikes and your Under Armours and those type of companies. But getting a foothold in it, I think, was really speaking specifically to a culture. I hope that gives you some sort of foothold. Again, if I had a magic potion or a magic way, a program for you to definitely get sales in apparel, I would probably sell it because that would be worth gold. But it's a lot of trial and error and testing, and asking the right questions. Okay, getting the answers to the right questions, but starting with the right questions. Hope that helps. Mark, thank you for asking the questions. Thank you for following. You could follow me at my social media at John Phenom. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.